Well, this is the one. This is the big one. This is when you throw caution to the wind.
Ballito Street Heroes, brought to you by the Kwadakuza Municipality and the SMD Group. Go on, admit it, eh? You've had those visions of yourself as a racing driver, sitting at the traffic light thinking, yes, this is the start of the Monza Grand Prix. Possibly that turning circle is your favourite chicane, the dip in the road, you visualise Eau Rouge. If only you could convert that piece of tar into your very own racetrack. Well, that's what they've done here at the Laguna Seca precinct with the Ballito Street Heroes, the second time that this event has been run. Concrete barriers are here, the modified cars are here, the production cars are here. Everyone today is a racer. And every racer needs to be briefed, not only on the very important safety aspects of the event, but also on the timing, running order, and of course, the number of runs in each session. Held over 2 days for the competitors, Saturday was always about finding out the fastest way to navigate this tight and very tricky 1.7 kilometre up and down circuit layout. Competitors were also classified into 4 classes, with the KZN racing class aimed at the region's amateur racing drivers. These guys arrived chomping at the bit, super keen to get the weekend off to a cracking start. And they also arrived with a wide variety of machinery. But by the end of Saturday, it was the Subarus of Zahid Hassim, Sunil Ramburan and Dion Guruvadu that were leading the way. There is nothing quite like the roar of a supercar being driven the way it was intended. Hard. So the production supercar class was always going to be a firm favourite with the crowd. Yeah, those unforgiving concrete barriers certainly ensured that it was all concentration for these drivers. With some really experienced campaigners strapped into the hot seats of these off-the-showroom floor performance cars, the times being posted were mighty impressive. Saturday ended with Afzal Musa in his GT3 RS Porsche and Stuart Kidgel in his Ferrari 599, chasing hard after Anton Crenier in his Lamborghini Gallardo. His time of a 52.765 saw him 4th fastest overall. That is incredible for a production car. So we probably all know KZN for its rolling hills and its bunny chows. But what you may not know is that they really love their Porsches down here. GT3s to be precise, with a super active Porsche club and the GT Super Cup taking Durban races to circuits like Bekisa, Zwartkops and Kyalami. It really made sense for the organisers to have a class dedicated to the German mark. They may very well be friends off the track, but they are the fiercest competitors on it. This was going to be the class to watch, with just 0.5 of a second separating Afzal, Jiva, Mason and Rajan. The modified production class is all fire and brimstone. If you can hold on to the ponies, you can race them. In a class usually dominated by the heavily worked Skylines, defending champion Des Goodside was hoping the domination would continue this year. But his son Jade Goodside, who dramatically blew his Skyline up last year, was back with a new toy. Could his Mitsubishi Evo that has promised so much finally deliver the goods? It doesn't look like it, does it?
That sounded like a transmission failure.
But Jade wasn't the only one battling mechanical gremlins. Leon Loubser's weekend ended early, and for Des, Jade and Dwayne, it was a long night of hard work ahead. That left the door open for the Backdraft boys, Tony Martin and Mike McLaughlin, giving the crowd exactly what they'd come to see.
left-hand ECG onto the straight, another massive lock-up and slightly off the apex. It's definitely going to cost time.
This year wasn't just about the usual suspects though. Shane Ferreira and David Nell drifted in on the action too, proving just how hard it is to make a car go straight that's set up to do the exact opposite. But at the end of day one, it was Mike McLaughlin sitting pretty at the top of the timing sheets. As title sponsor, SMD Group hosted dignitaries and competitors in their world-class showroom. And it soon became pretty clear that the Ballito Street Heroes event isn't only about high-octane and supercars.
SMD is very proud to be involved in this Street Heroes for the second year running. Racing is in our blood, it's in our DNA. We've been involved in racing for many, many years. And it's part of our marketing strategy. This Street Heroes is in Ballito, so what better place to put our money behind and support. Of course, there's other initiatives that come with Street Heroes, one of them being the creche that Doreen runs, and we're very proud to be part of the initiative of raising money for that creche, and that's also helping uplift the area that we live in, and it's all about giving back to the community, and that's what this is about, I think.
And I really go and say thank you to SMD for being the guardian of this event, and also to you for bringing it onto the North Coast. And I think we will see more of these events coming, as the years go by.
Ballito Heroes has done good job for our children, which coming from the very poor place in Shaka's Head. Now our children has got a creche where they go to school.
We'll be back after break with more action from Ballito Street Heroes. Welcome back to Ballito Street Heroes event. We catch up with the action now in the KZN racing class. Now what is really cool about the Ballito Street Heroes is that they give amateur rookie racing drivers an opportunity to showcase their skills and talents in a controlled environment. Now we know everyone imagines they're a racing driver. Illegal drag racing is a big issue in the KZN province. So to be able to give these guys an opportunity to bring their cars to a track that's been purpose-built really is fantastic. Niven Govender is showing what he can do in his Skyline. Sunday morning saw perfect conditions and a final opportunity for competitors to have a run at class honours. We caught up with Ballito Street Hero first-timer Richard Loynes. Richard, straight out the car, a second faster, good improvement.
Yeah, no, it was tough yesterday. I only got the car back on Friday at about 1:30, so first time in the car yesterday and third time out all in all. But yeah, like you said, it's this track is a little bit daunting. The concrete barriers come a little bit closer than you'd like and a bit quicker than what you'd like.
Have you been on a proper racetrack with your car?
Never ever. This is the first time out, but I suppose once I get the car dialed in a little bit more, maybe we'll break the one minute mark, maybe next year.
But the battle for top honours in the KZN racing class was surely going to come from one of the Subarus. Zahid Hassim in his GT had been consistent, but found himself 1 second off the pace of Sunil Rambaran and Dion Guruvadu, who had both come into this final run with a time of 58.9 seconds. Dion leading out a couple thousandths of a second quicker than Sunil, but in his final run, he found a massive 1.4 seconds to take victory, with Sunil in second and Zahid in third. It looks like Richard's going to have to wait until next year to break into the 50s. There really were some incredibly beautiful machines competing in the production supercar class, but they were all chasing one man and an incredible time set by Anton Cronier in his Gallardo late on Saturday afternoon. Could anybody find 2 seconds over this 1.7 kilometer tight and technical circuit to challenge him? Anton, supercars and super times. I mean, after yesterday, you were lying fourth overall. It's probably the most impressive considering this is a stock standard road car.
Yeah, no, I must be honest, I'm also impressed. I mean, we're running standard tires, standard car, and when I saw the times, I was also quite impressed. Yeah, it's a bit scary because you want to stay off the walls, and because there's no insurance. So yeah,
I see you clipped tire walls this morning, but you can buff that out, eh?
But luckily there's no big damage.
Anton, talk us through massive experience on racetracks. Very, very different when you don't have that runoff and you literally are sitting in like a drag-style tunnel vision scenario with a concrete barrier. How do you prepare yourself for that?
You know what, don't think about it. The more you think and the more you work the track, I think the more faults you're going to make. And the harder you push, the more faults you're going to make.
Very wise words from a very experienced competitor. The big mover, however, in this class was Stuart Kidgel, finding 1 second in his final run to take second place from Afzal. Jason Evans impressed in his front-wheel drive Ford Focus RS. The Porsche class was lined up and ready for action, and it couldn't be any tighter. So now at the Ballito Street Heroes events, they've got the Porsche class, very, very competitive. Man, you, Afzal, Mason, very, very close. After yesterday, you were leading, you're going into your final run now. Is this going to be yours?
I'm certainly going to try.
What was the gap time?
I think 1/10 of a second between the three of us.
So going into this final run, 4 competitors were all within 0.4 of a second, all of them running in the low 54s. Who was going to stay cool in this final run and not crack under the pressure? Well, Mason Woodley couldn't improve on his time set on Saturday and dropped down to 4th place. But Afzal and Jiva had dipped into the 53 seconds, but that wasn't good enough. Nobody could touch Rajan, who was on fire in that final run, finding 1.5 seconds to win in a fantastic time of 52.5 seconds. With defending champ Des Goodside having to swap cars and Jade's crew working through the night to get the Evo running, the door really was wide open for competitors like Dwayne Galloway in his Skyline, Billy de Beer in his Porsche, and of course Mike McLaughlin to claim top honours in the modified production class. Very, very good first day. I mean, I know a lot of the guys were here last year at the first running of the event, so they kind of might have an advantage on you, but you were quickest. Is there more to come? Guys are talking 49s. Is it possible?
Yeah, I think today we got good conditions and the pace is hot. I think a win will be in 49. It's going to be quite nice. It's going to be a very special lap for us to pull it off. But you know, we've made some adjustments. We've looked at the circuit, we've analysed, and we're going to give it our best shot.
Well, it seems Mike's prediction of a 49 seconds being good enough to win proved to be true, with Jade smashing the existing record and the first car to dip below the 50-second mark. Dwayne Galloway had a fantastic final run, chopping 2.3 seconds off his time to claim third, and Mike McLaughlin just missed the 49s. Now, we all know that those boys on 2 wheels are a crazy bunch, but tackling the Laguna Seca circuit on a superbike, well, that's just off the crazy charts. The way a superbike delivers its power, it's really not geared for a technical and tight circuit like this. But Corné Teron and his BMW 1000 RR had brought their A game, consistently running in the mid-49s. Insane times, the crowds were glued to the screens. But that wasn't the only special demonstration run to enthrall the crowds.
You know, people don't get to see these cars often, and to bring them out and let the public see, it's always great. As I said, for me, to get into the car and drive it is always great. I think the car's busy shouting at me because I'm not getting out of second gear, but so be it. But yeah, no, it's good, and that's good for the people to see.
It's a busy day for you, Gary. Not only are you getting to drive some really beautiful historic cars, but you're doing all the race commentary as well.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, it's been a great weekend so far. Just had a demo run in the Motorworks GT40.
For you, with all your experience, this is a different dynamic. It's a different beast because there is no forgiveness.
There's nothing here, and you know, the guys that are really, like I say, that impressing, the guys that are really pushing hard, because you know there's no room for error, as we know with the normal street circuit, and some of these cars are really expensive pieces of kit. The track is very narrow. It's the kind of track where to go fast, you've almost got to be patient with a lot of the corners here.
You know that saying, where there is smoke, there's fire? Well, that's not necessarily always true. It probably just means the excess promotion drifting crew are in town. Is this why they call it a suicide run? We're pretty brave, aren't we?
Yeah, it's just a nice name we give to the ride, but you get to experience the art of going sideways that you see right now.
I know Mike, I don't trust him.
No one trusts Mike.
this is what people come to see. The smoke, tyre noise, sideways action in a really confined environment. You guys have done a great job promoting drifting in SA. Good to be at Ballito Street Heroes.
Fantastic. What a great event. The setup is incredible. The weather's been awesome. And yeah, we love what we do, you know, taking drifting to the public.
Is drifting a motorsport?
It's an art form and a motorsport.
Well,
yes, it's, you know, we're not in a race, Morris, and you've seen it before. We're a judge sport. It's pretty similar to idle, so we would like to just refer it to...
So you sing while you're driving?
Correct. Keeps me calm. So I can negotiate the Laguna Seca circuit.
After the break, we launch into the top 20. Welcome back. So we've identified our category winners. Now it's time to find out who the fastest man on the Ballito Street Hero circuit is. It's top 20 shootout time. Our top 20 was determined by each competitor's single best time over the course of the weekend, irrespective of the class. But what makes this time attack format so exciting is that each driver starts with a clean timesheet. Starting in reverse order and with each driver getting 2 runs in this the bowl final, they really needed to draw on all they had learnt over the weekend to deliver what essentially was a super pole lap. Leon Lopes's time set on Saturday was good enough to place him in the bowl final, but with mechanical issues forcing him to withdraw, it meant we only had 9 competitors in contention for the title. John Guruvadu in his Subaru WRX was the only driver from the KZN racing class to make it through, while Mason Woodley was doubling his chances, having qualified in both his production entry class Porsche GT3 and his Porsche class GT3 RS. Those drivers improving on their positions in the final were Jay Naidu, Mason Woodley and Jason Evans, but Stuart Kidgel held it together to take top honours in the bowl final.
Yeah, the bravery builds every run. It was that run, you know. It's got closer and closer, and this one was just a feel. The second one I drove with the traction on. The third one I turned it all off and said, let's have a go.
So after 2 fantastic days of racing, it comes down to this: our 10 fastest competitors as we look to crown the ultimate street hero. Timing sheets have been cleared. Now, Jade Goodside earlier was the fastest guy ever around the circuit, breaking that 50 barrier, getting into the 49s, but it means nothing. This is where it counts. Who can put that one perfect run together? Well, we're about to find out as we bring you the final from the Ballito Street Heroes. We caught up with Jade before the final.
We're getting 3 runs, not 2, which is going to be really cool. So, yeah, hopefully we can do low 49s. I go as fast as I can whenever I drive. So, just hope not to make any stupid mistakes and hit the accelerator instead of the brake and do something stupid, you know, and then let's hope the car stays together.
Last year's bowl final winner Afzal Musa went one better this year, getting himself into the Ultimate Street Hero final in 10th place. And his battle with fellow Porsche class competitor Jiva Mudley was set to continue in this final. Who would end up on top this time? Defending champion Des Goodside found himself in rather unfamiliar territory, having qualified in 8th. It had been a tough weekend so far. Not the car you were in yesterday.
Yeah, we had a bit of a problem with the car yesterday. You know, the transfer box was slipping and only had 2-wheel drive, and we only realised that late in the afternoon, and we had to make a choice. We either had to take it back, fix it, or possibly re-enter another car, which we did, and because we had got a lot of repairs to be done to Jade's car, and but other than that, we're ready for today.
Anton Cronier was the only competitor from the production supercar class to make it into the final in 7th place. Both driver and car standout performers. If there is a car that you never tire seeing catapult off the line, it would have to be Andrew Strike's R32 Skyline. Could he improve on his 6th position? Having already claimed first place in the Porsche class earlier in the day, Rajan Naidu found himself in 5th place going into this final. Could he improve on his time of a 52.5? Willie De Beer and his Porsche GT2 were 4th on the circuit with a 51.7. Happy, Willie?
I think I'll be happy if I do 50.7. then I'll be happy. Whatever comes after that will be a bonus.
Well, he was going to need to find a second in this final to be a happy man. Time to turn up the boost and hold on tight. Dwayne Galloway had an inspired run earlier in the day to claim third spot in the modified production class, so a lot was expected from him in this final. Could he continue his charge? Mike McLaughlin and his backdraft Cobra are just so exciting to watch off the line, but his rear-wheel drive machine loses out big time to the four-wheel drive launches of his competitors. Could he make up the time lost on the start over the short 1.7 kilometer circuit? Well, he had to abort his first run with a boost pipe coming off. So while he went off to make repairs, circuit record holder and modified production class champ Jade Goodsight threw his Evo into battle. The Evo is lighter than the Skyline Jade used to race, and clearly he seems to be loving the difference it makes to the handling characteristics. Direction changes so quick, allowing him to really place his car perfectly in the sweet spot on every corner. Was it actually possible to go faster than the 49.8 he had posted earlier in the day? Well, it certainly looked that way. Wow, incredibly nimble through that super narrow chicane. Looking at the circuit with its hairpin and tight chicanes, it is crazy to think that he's averaging 125 odd kilometers per hour. If he can keep this together, it's going to be an immense time. Heading straight into his final run, seems to be a bit of smoke coming from that Evo. Whoa, getting it crossed up. Something definitely has blown. Well, he kept it together. His car didn't. This is like a victory walk, Jade. I don't think Mike McLaughlin, he had his problems. I don't think anyone can tap into a 48.7. What a lap.
Yeah, it was good. My car held together for 2 laps at least and did a great time. And the mechanics worked really hard, but when the cars are at that level and that horsepower out of small engines like we're using, it happens, you know, so...
But it's just uncanny, because you've predicted all these things. You said, I think we can do 48 if the car holds. So you do 48, it doesn't hold. What did your dad say to you before that final run?
No, it's fine, no more. So I was like, oh, whatever.
Like he would.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, look, I'm gonna put my neck out here. I know Mike's still got 2 runs left, but I don't think anybody's gonna beat that time. Well done. Our new Ultimate Street Hero, Jade Goodsight. Well done.
I don't know that yet.
Even though Jade did a champion job getting his car off the racing line as quickly as possible, there was still plenty of oil for the marshals to contend with. Mike McLaughlin wisely opting for a sighting run to see the areas affected on the circuit. Now, with the circuit being an up and down layout, Mike was going to have to pass through this affected area twice. Once coming on the power, exiting that bend, and then on the way back, getting on the brakes. Well, as you can see, Mike's having to adjust his racing line here. This is certainly going to make it near impossible for him to challenge his best times. But that didn't stop him trying to stop. So unfortunately for Mike, his mechanical issues saw him running out of sequence in that final, and obviously as a result was affected by Jade's blown motor. But he would be the first one to tell you that's racing and that nobody could have touched Jade today. Branding's being taken down, tyres are being moved, concrete bollards are being taken away. Tomorrow, this will be a regular road again. But what a fantastic second hosting of the Ballito Street Heroes event. We've crowned a brand new Ultimate Street Hero in Jade Goodsight, 48.7. What an unbelievable time. The benchmark's been set for next year. It's going to be bigger and better.
Well, this is the one, this is the big one. This is when you throw caution to the wind.
Ballito Street Heroes, brought to you by the Kwatakuza Municipality and the SMD Group.